This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. So many of us are dealing with at least one of these challenges, whether you've got burnout, like you just need a break and you don't know why you're feeling that way. Maybe you've got some anxiety. Maybe that's leading to the burnout. Maybe you're stressed out, whether it's your personal life or professionally. Maybe you just feel like you're running a race and you don't even see the finish line. You don't even think if you did, you could even get there. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could take a class, maybe a few classes, and practice 3 fundamental skills that you would learn, and you would use them over and over again when situations like anxiety, like stress, present themselves? That is very possible. We're going to talk with somebody who can teach you that. He has so much insight on this as a life coach at Performance Mindset Life Coaching, and he is Dave Girrbach, joining us on the program today. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing very well, Steve. How are you?
Real good. And what you teach, I wish I met you long ago, because you teach all of it in one, call it class or classes, whereby I had to go to other places to figure it out. What am I referring to? Whether it's meditation, whether it's proper breathing technique, whether it's changing your mindset. And that's just a piece of what you show people, but you take care of all of it. What are you hearing from people in your world? Are you hearing that a lot of them are feeling stressed out, feeling anxiety, feeling that burnout?
Absolutely. I mean, pretty much every person I talk to, and all of us in life, we're always going to, experience stress, like, because we live in a crazy world. Like, that's what we have to deal with in 2025. So everybody's just talking about stress, burnout, day after day. It's like your life is on this constant 24-hour repeat where you just can't get out of that cycle. And that's where I think these tools, they're so important, because first of all, they change my life, and everything that I practice in my life is what I want to teach. I don't expect to tell anybody or have anybody try anything that I haven't tested myself and that I know works. And breathing, meditation, and mindset are like 3 simple things that pretty much anybody can do. And they help you to take control of the inner world first, no matter what's going on in the outer world. So that's why I think they're so important.
I want to go into much deeper detail in all of those. But even before we get there, and usually I don't ask this question so early, but I'm curious, what brought you here? Where was it where your life made a turn and you realized, I got to learn some stuff here to deal with what's going on? Tell us your journey.
So yeah, I guess I could take it back to give you the condensed version. 2017, I went into the program of Alcoholics Anonymous for the 3rd time. 20 years I struggled with drugs, alcohol, just quick fix remedies, anything to numb the pain. Basically, that's how I lived. And I came into the program of Alcoholics Anonymous in 2017 with basically broken, empty, and just knowing that, just feeling like I wasn't going to live much longer if I just continued this way of life. Everything was starting to catch up and just hammer down on top of me. So it was through that process of that breaking free that I was able to change my mindset, right? So the 12 steps, they taught me a different way to think and a different way to live and a different way to view my life. It connected me with a higher power. So now I'm taking, not only just relying on my own self-will to run my life, but now I can take and place my perspective outside of myself. Hey, I'm not in control and I don't have to control everything. All I need to worry about is what's in here and what's going on inside my head. And that was the huge thing. And then I found breathing and meditation, which I had been doing back since 2013. I got heavily into it. Actually, the first breathing exercise that I ever did before people even really understood that breathing was a thing was back in 1997 in a Tony Robbins course. he taught this simple breathing technique. And I was like, first time I ever heard of it. I was like, I didn't know it was like, just like going running or doing yoga. It was like breathing. And then I carried that with me the whole time. So like I loved that exercise. And then in 2013, I came across Mark Divine and the whole Unbeatable Mind program. And he was teaching box breathing, which is inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Very simple. And that got me even more into it, and that whole program. And that's where I started learning about meditation, because he was big into that too.
Mm.
And then when I got into the journey of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I said, okay, I'm going to really put full 100% commitment and effort into this thing. Like the 2 times I had tried before, it's almost like I knew in advance that I wasn't going to stay in it. I knew I was just going to drop back out. And this time, this 3rd time, there was something inside of me that like there was like what we call spiritual awakening, I guess, is something changed in my mind that I was like, I can do this. I know if I just pray and I lean on this higher power that I can do this. And then the tools of breathing and meditation came in to really get an even deeper connection with that. And I've been practicing them ever since, and it's been getting more and more and more. And then when we went through COVID in 2020, I found Wim Hof, which Wim Hof is huge in the breathing exercises, and I started that. So I just learned this whole world of opening up the inner domain, as we call it, the inside. Can't control what's in the outer domain, but right here, in here, I can control all of this. And breathing, meditation, and mindset are the 3 things that I can control every moment of every day.
Do you really feel that we are in ultimate control here of everything? No matter every decision we make, it's in our control. Yes, things happen. Sometimes they're not that great in our lives, but we can control how we react to it. And realizing that, did you feel that it almost gave you power?
Oh, absolutely. It's like, you know what it is? It's a lot of people refer to it as power, and I understand completely what you're saying. And for me, it was like this sense of like inner fulfillment that I can't describe. It was like in the Bible, I think they reference this, they say the peace that passes all understanding. Like you can't understand. If you get into a good meditation and you really connect with a higher level of consciousness, you can't understand it through the 5 senses. You can't understand it through the conscious mind understanding. It's something that you feel. It's like intuition. It's like this cleansing of the inside where you just feel like everything's going to be okay. Nothing is wrong. Everything is perfect. And I felt this at the same time while knowing there were certain things in my life over the past 8 years that weren't perfect. My money wasn't perfect. My relationships weren't perfect. But there were times when I could get myself into this state using breathing and using meditation and changing my mindset. I could get myself into this state where I could feel okay in that moment.
Would you say that was true peace?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, and I also believe that whatever the level of understanding of that piece is, like, so the way that I understand it today, in a week from now, I could open it up and say, like, wow, like I've 10x'd it, like I've 10x'd my piece. Now it's even more because I feel like over the years it gets greater and greater.
I had that wake up. I'm not super religious, but even as a kid and on up, you go to church and they say, peace be with you, peace be with you, peace be with you. And I'd be like, hey, peace be with you. I didn't even know what I was talking about. I was just, going along with it until I realized, what the blank, there's no peace in my life. That's what's missing. And then once I started, and I'm just scraping a little bit lower than the surface. You've gone deep here in realizing these things like meditation and breathing. That's where I had that realization, and I call it the quiet calm. Like when stuff presents, and I still remember, it was like 4 years ago, walking out of here, and stuff was going on in my life, and I just looked up at the sun, could even tell you the angle of the sun, time of day, everything, where it's like, yeah, we're good. It's going to be all right. Not to worry. You've got something behind you, backing you, whatever that is. Maybe it's the knowing that you're describing, that you can fall back on these things like breath work, like meditation, to I guess, get you grounded, get you centered, get you back, bring you back home. I don't know if that's making sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's absolutely. Um, it's interesting. It's most people. I feel like we lead such busy lives. You get up in the morning and it's like go, 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 and that's
Yep.
all that distraction takes away from what we're talking about here. Like
100%.
what you just described, it's like it robs you of that. So that's why for me in my own personal practice, and this is what I try to help people to understand. They can't always do it, but I try to just tell them like, hey, here's how I live is, the first hour or two of my day is set so like I can experience all of these things. I have a writing practice. I get really quiet. I sit with myself. I listen to myself. Sometimes I don't always like what I hear in there, but I got to listen to it and I got to let it go. And when I do that first thing in the morning, it's like the way I start my day is the way that I live my life. So if you can get your day right, if you can get your inner domain right in the first hour of the day, even if you only have 15 minutes, your day will turn out tremendously different. And it doesn't mean that bad things won't happen. I mean, we have to all experience certain things in life, but you'll be way more prepared to deal with it when you get that first 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, if you can do it. A lot of people can't give up an hour a day, but it's those first thoughts that they just like vibrate through your entire day like the rippling wave across the water.
You are the second person today that has said what you just said in the same way that you said it. It's almost like the universe is hitting me in the head saying, duh, what are you waiting for? And they told me that they wake up at like 5:30 and they meditate for an hour, sometimes longer, maybe up to 2. And I'm like, dude, how you doing that? Like an hour. And my brain is like I should be fill in the blank. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I could be doing this. I could be doing that. But it works, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's so powerful.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know what? It just starts with, doing it for 5 minutes. Because I'll tell you what, I can remember the times in my life how I lived where, I got up, hit snooze on the alarm for 5 minutes, and hitting snooze, now I'm late for everything in my day. It's all pushed back. And then you're like in this state of chaos.
Yep.
You're like, everything's like chaotic. Oh, I got to rush to do this. And like all it takes is one little thing, some traffic on the road. And then you're even more frustrated. And then you get to work and you carry that energy with you. I mean, they have true measurements and scientific proof that you like carry that energy with you. And then you get to work and somebody's like arguing and at you right away. So, I mean, I get it. I've lived that life and it was very hard to change. But now, even if I don't get to get up and do my breathing in the morning, a little meditation, and then I go running right after that. And I'm out on the beach. I live here in Daytona Beach. So it's like, that's just like a whole nother meditation is while I'm running. Ocean waves in my head, just waving to people as you go by. It's like the perfect world. And then when I get done with that, like I feel good. And I remember what it was like to not have that. All I need is one day of an early appointment or something I got to get up to that pushes it out. And I'm reminded, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember what it's like. So I totally get people when they say like, I don't have time, I can't do it. I don't have time. I got the kids, I got the family, all that stuff.
Part of me says to myself, you deserve to sleep later. You work your butt off. And I spent a lot of years waking up at like 3:50 a.m. So it's like, now I look at it as like, all right, you know what? You really need to sleep, but I need to back it up on the other side and go to bed earlier so I can wake up earlier and do what you're saying. And the Florida thing, it was almost this time last year, I was in Cocoa Beach, Florida, for one reason, to rest, relax, reset. And that was it. And I just stared at the ocean. A friend of mine had an Airbnb. He's like, yeah, if you want to come down, whatever. I was like, dude, do your own thing. I'm doing my thing. I was journaling. It was actually a rocket launch. Wasn't even planned. That was cool. But that was the goal for just, 3 days of just that. So I felt that peace. And every time I do that, I feel that peace. So I share that because we need to change the way we think about things. Um, Mindset. Let's go there. How do you define mindset?
So mindset is, in a way, it's similar to attitude, but attitude is like one component of it. I feel like mindset is, the whole bundle of our beliefs, our fears, our attitude, our perspective on life, like how we see the world. And a lot of it's shaped by our past, because the way that we grow up, it, they say that, kids that up until age 5, like, you're in that completely programmable state. So
Yep.
depending on what your childhood was like, all of that's going to factor in. So for me, that's what mindset is. It's like, I love the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton. He says it's like the computer. Your computer, there's all these programs running in the background, and they're all just sitting there controlling everything that computer's doing. Our brain is the same way. We're just running. A lot of times we don't consciously understand why we do the things we do, or why we act the way we act.
Yep.
But it's a lot of unconscious things in there, and that's all a part of the mindset. And I guess part of the the, the big final frontier is like getting into ourselves and trying to unscramble that egg and get anything that's not serving us out of there.
After you did a lot of soul searching and pretty much figured this stuff out, how it works and what's going on, did you have a view of your life where you didn't know how good you had it? Like, you jive. I envy you jogging on the beach in Daytona Beach. And by the way, going to be honest, Dave, you look at my vision board right here. That's where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Top thing right there is Florida. I'm not even kidding. I wanted to move there since I was in my 20s. I just didn't have the courage and the confidence to do it, et cetera, et cetera. But did you turn around and look at your life and say, man, yeah, it's actually really good? I never realized that until I started grounding myself and trying these different things.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I wake up every day and I write down 3 things I'm grateful for. I write down 3 things that I'm excited and looking forward to for the day. I write down my purpose, my intention for the day. Then I like to put down 3 goals that I'm working on. And then I have 2 other important things on the page is what's 5 things that I can do today to reach my goals, to help somebody, to serve, to give back, whatever it is. And then I like to keep a list every day of, I try to get 10 daily wins. And the win can be as simple as like, hey, I went out and got my 5 miles in today on the beach. That's a win. Woke up feeling good, healthy, strong. That's a win.
Mm.
And it's just like what you said. It's like these little things are things that we let slip by,
Yeah.
And I used to do that. I didn't think about like, oh man, you got good health. People just, we take it for granted. And that's kind of the way the human mind works and the human condition. So it's not right or wrong. But what I like to emphasize is to bring awareness to it, right? Every little thing, if you just feel healthy in the morning, that's a win. Because, and you'll notice it on the morning when you wake up and you feel sick. You go, oh wow, this is
Right.
this is different.
Yeah.
I feel like crap. Oh boy, what am I going to do? So those are just the little things that I try to teach everybody to pay it.
Yeah.
We can pay so much more attention than we do. But again, going back to, we get distracted, when we have so much stuff going on that we can't keep up, that's when we're in a state of survival and we're in a state of distraction. And we can't get higher when we're stuck down here. We can't get up here.
It's almost as if you fell down that rabbit hole and you're just always trying to climb out, and you get, you're all right. You're poking your head out. You got some sun, you got some air, but you're not out. You're still just always climbing out. When you talk about the breath work, do you include that with your meditation?
Yes, I feel like they go hand in hand. Although when it comes, the only separation is when, like, a lot of breathing, there's different exercises. And for meditation, you want to kind of use a calm and relaxed breathing because typically you're trying to get yourself into the lower brain waves, the
Yeah.
ones that are very slow. And for that, we want to use like a deeper, slower breath. And when I'm doing just breath work, there's some that I use that are for getting your body energized and getting you going. So like a fast, like, and then hold, and then, like different patterns and different rhythms. So, but typically, yes, breath work and meditation, they run hand in hand. Definitely.
I think a lot of us look at the breathing thing and think, well, how is that going to make a difference? Come on, I'm breathing anyway. Well, I breathe a little deeper. Okay, whatever. The research is out there year after year that it is like, I call it the reset button. It's like you come back to center when your day is all crazy. Stop, breathe, and do it over again, or continue on. What do you want people to know about this? I know for some it could be a little woo. For me, it's not. It's everything. And I don't even go as deep as you do, and I still say that. What do you want people to know that are just kind of hearing this? They're looking for something, done with going to the doctor and getting pills and whatever. What do you want them to know?
Well, really, it's like as crazy as we think breathing is, like how is that going to make a difference? Like you just said, I hear that from people all the time. It's like
Sure.
I breathe every day. That's why I'm alive. I have to be breathing. But when we take conscious control of it, it's like this one thing that's easy to take control of, breathing. Just by doing that, you're taking control,
Yeah.
and that changes your whole activates the whole parasympathetic nervous system from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic, which is from the, fight and flight to rest and digest. And once you do that, not only do you feel more in control, less anxious, because what's anxiety? Anxiety is a feeling like you don't have any control. Like you're just, oh God, what's going to happen? That's the opposite of feeling like you're completely in control, confident, relaxed, at peace. But it's also the health of your body that, the body gets more oxygen and the brain gets more oxygen. So just by taking control of that one simple thing, a breathing pattern that you could do, you're not just getting rid of the anxiety, but you're actually increasing your health in all different ways. And there's like study after study just showing this, of how they take people who are not breathers and they made them breathe, and they sleep better, their food digests better.
Wow.
Certain health issues are going to, it's not like it's not like a magical cure all, but what it does is now you're adding to the positive side. You're adding to the good side. So it can't just like recover a disease and like, breathing one or two times, but like it just keeps adding to that positive. And that over the course of a lifetime is like, that's 50, 60, 70%.
I find that many of us are looking for the fix. And if you look at, every day goes by and you're making a little bit of progress, maybe you learn impactful breathing, whatever it might be. You're making progress. Now, go back an entire year. Right now, think of what the heck went on this past year. If you look at 365 days, I think most of us will say, "Sheesh, I can't believe what transpired." Maybe if you're taking steps to move forward, how much you did move forward, how much you grew as the person that you always wanted to be, and all of that. Dave, I love your like so grounded approach to all of this. Like it comes from the heart. Like I can feel it. Like you're the real deal. How does somebody and I know you do things virtually, can work with anybody anywhere. How do they find you?
So to find me online, the name is Performance Mindset Life Coaching, and you can go to the website performancemindsetlifecoaching.com. And I also have a YouTube channel that's at Performance Mindset Life Coaching. So those are my two biggest ways to find me on there. The website, you can get a lot more information about. You can find the free mini class there. You can go in, enroll. Doesn't cost any money. Got a couple other courses on there too. I've got a link on there that you can book time on my calendar if you want to have a conversation, no
Sure.
cost.
Yeah, you've gone through a journey, and it seems like you have a passion now to help people. And we just skim the surface on all of these topics here. I mean, we could do an entire podcast on gratitude. We do 5 podcasts on gratitude alone. Certainly meditation and all of that. Thank you for being here today. And me personally, this is my wake up. I need to meditate a lot. It's
Can I leave you? Can I leave you with one thing?
Please.
So for anybody who's kind of new, maybe just wants to try something out, what I used to always talk about was 1%. Make a 1% shift, 1% better every day. Just do one little thing. And if you think of that over the course of a year, that's 365% when you add it up. What kind of difference is that going to make in your life? So when you think of that little 1% not making a difference, think of it like that. Totally change your life.
Seriously, even thinking of it as a journey, there's a plane flying. It's on a journey. It makes 1% turn to the right. Now over the course, look where it landed in a different country now because it made 1% change. Dave, really appreciate everything today. Thank you for being here. And, for me, validating a lot and encouraging others to start making some changes in their lives. It's worth it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.